I'm Lynette.
And I'm Lauren.
I've been teaching for 11 years.
And I've been teaching for 13 years.
And we wanted to share with you some of our personal reflections from our years of experience and give you some suggestions to help you start off as a new student teacher.
As you start this journey, we really want to encourage you and we want to give you some information that we've learned, but we also want you to know that this is a wonderful job. Some days you will feel like, I can't do this anymore, I'm exhausted, I just can't. But it is the best, most rewarding job you can ever have. You will love it. It will be hard, but it will be awesome.
We wanted to write to you, to the future student teachers, to let you know a few things that we've learned along the way and some things that we've also reflected upon to help you out.
Some are serious, some are funny, but they are all true, and we have learned them ourselves, so we wanted to share them with you so that you wouldn't have to learn them the hard way that maybe we did. One of the things that I wanted to let the future teachers, student teachers know is that you can't do it all. You will feel overwhelmed. You will feel like, what am I doing? I can't do it. I don't understand. Guess what? We still feel that way sometimes. It's okay to feel that way. You can't do it all. You have to learn what needs to be done first and what needs to be done after that and what needs to be done next and what things can be put off a day or two in order to be able to spend that time with your students and be focusing on the students and their learning instead of always the checklist of things that you have to do.
Exactly. You want to be organized and then also understand that it will be there tomorrow. It's okay if it doesn't get done today. Set a time for yourself. Say 4 o'clock, I have to leave no matter what you finished or not. Get out.
Yes.
And just know it will be okay. And make sure you're asking someone who has a positive aspect on things. Stay away from those teachers that are the negatives, the Debbie Downers, the ones that just don't have anything good to say about anything.
We call them vampires. They suck the fun out of everything.
Or the marigolds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, those are good ones too. So find someone that you feel like you can trust that has a nice way of putting things.
Pleasant demeanor.
It will make you feel like it's okay to ask questions because we ask them all the time.
Every day.
Another thing we wanted to let future student teachers know that sometimes students come to school with things that are happening at home that are just out of our control. We cannot fix it. And as much as it breaks our hearts that they're struggling through some of these things, the number one thing to remember is you have to be supportive. Another really important thing, when you're thinking about the beginning of the school year, set those expectations right away. You want to be the fun, exciting teacher that does a lot of great things, and yes, it's okay to smile on the first day of school. But you want to also know that there is a fine line. If you befriend your students, that causes problems. You want to make sure you have, I'm the teacher, you're the student, and we have that mutual respect and can have a great time. Because if you cross over that line and you become buddy-buddy friends, then they're not going to listen to you when they don't want to because, hey, you're just my friend. Who are you?
Exactly.
So make sure you set that ground rule right away that, hey, we are here to have fun. We're going to understand when it's time to work and when it's time to play and build that communication and relationship with them so you have a successful school year. If you don't do that in the first couple weeks,
it's hard to go back.
You're a shot.
Especially as a student teacher, because it's a little different. There's another teacher in the room. And so sometimes they may lean towards the other teacher as the teacher or the disciplinarian and the student teacher as, the fun person that we don't always have to listen to.
Right.
So you definitely want to be able to set those expectations early on.
All good teachers need to reflect. And it's not just reflect at the end of the day, it's also at the end of units, at the end of semesters, and every year. Don't be just set on, this year was great, I'm going to do everything the same the following year. Constantly reflect to see how you can improve. And I know one way that I have found that I really need to work on improving is working with my assessments. I make some pretty darn good assessments, if I do say so myself, but I don't pay attention to so much what they tell me that my kids still need. I get the grade, great, moving on, because things are so fast-paced. I know that I personally need to stop and say, all right, what is this telling me? What things can I change so that my students are picking up on a few more of these skills? How can I?
As new teachers, as student teachers, as veteran teachers, we should reflect often and be honest and truthful with ourselves. And we have found lots of things that we can improve upon. One of the things Lynette was talking about was assessment. That was one of the areas I felt weakest in as well, that we have all of these assessments, but we've already got plans for the next unit already in play. And so a lot of times it feels like we assess and move on instead of take that information and do something with it, like she was saying. But also, this has helped me learn more about informal feedback, so I can quickly be able to sort my kids into 3 groups. They get it, they don't, they're way past this, and then I can do some more informal grouping, informal things, just based on the feedback and getting that information a lot quicker, as opposed to, okay, this is the end, this is the test, now let's go to the next unit. Keep that in mind when you're planning, because part of planning is looking to the next page, but you also need to think back, okay, what else do they need before we can keep going? So that is a good thing to keep in mind when you're student teaching and throughout your career.
One of the last things we wanted to remind you is to be happy. You've chosen this career and you love this career. Don't let anything take that from you. Have grace and give yourself permission to make mistakes and learn from them.
You will make mistakes. I make mistakes daily. It's okay to make mistakes. It doesn't make you a bad teacher. It makes you human. But you do need to acknowledge when you make a mistake, apologize to the kids if you make a mistake, but think about, what could I do better? It's always about reflecting and thinking, what can I do better? What can I do better? What am I doing great at? And give yourself a pat on the back. What can I do better? And that's a good way to think of teaching always, is always striving to do better. So as you go into this year, student teaching, we wish you the best of luck, and we know you'll do a wonderful job.
We're cheering you on from the sidelines. Woohoo!